John here. John's retirement journey and travel. Well, back with another meeting of the Retiring Club, continuing on with our discussion of retirement today. Got 7 months down here, my first year retirement. Coming out ahead right now, the way it looks. Last couple of videos I wanted to go over talking about retirement today. And the first we talked about income replacement. Once you are done with that job, you got to replace that income sources. Might be a good video to go back and take a look at. I left out two income sources: pensions and Social Security. I did it on purpose. Reason why is the pension typically kicks in at 65 and can be your first raise in retirement. And Social Security at its full retirement age, if you can hold on, you may find yourself replacing your W-2 income from when you were working. Taking it 62, it's going to cut you about 30%. But you're always welcome to take it anytime you want and even hold off the age of 70, which I don't plan on doing because a 20% cut at the age of 70 puts me back at what I would have got at the age of 67. So I purposely left those out because Social Security has a cost of living, and plus every year you delay, you get additional 8% on that annuity. The other video, taxes, standard deduction, and healthcare, I was talking about the 1040, your 1040 lines 11. Line 11 will have your adjusted gross income, interest, pension, IRA distribution, W-2 income, alimony. All of your income right there. That's the one you want to keep an eye on if you're going to submit for the ACA and get yourself the health care. So that's what I was meaning by the 1040. You almost can do your own mock simulation by pulling your own numbers, going into IRS documentation, the 1040A or 1040, getting the fill and file and doing your own and looking up the tables. That's what I did to figure out how well I would do in retirement. But today, we're going to be talking about possible meeting with a certified financial planner. So I'm going to go over some details on what they asked for when I went in and I met with a Atlanta-based advisory retirement firm and tell you what they wanted to kind of documentation. And I found a document from 5 years ago when I was planning retirement. I set some goals. So we're going to go over that together in this meeting of the Retiring Club. Retiring today, retirement today, meeting with a financial planner. And I'll be back with you. When you go to meet with your financial planner, there's going to be a number of documents they're going to want you to have that are up to date. And I have a list here, and we're going to go over them. The mortgage statement, if you have a mortgage, you want to bring that, and it should have how much you owe on it and what your current mortgage is, possibly how long you have to go, and maybe some information about the escrow. You definitely want to have that with you. You're going to want to have your monthly expenses knocked down to the last dollar if you can. You want to have your savings account, the statements from your bank accounts, your money markets, and all relative bank statements that can be considered cash or your liquidity. You're going to want to have a year to date of your 401k or 403b with a list of the chosen investments that you have made. You usually can get that through the portal, and they'll print it out in a PDF. You want to have your IRA and your brokerage account statements if you have one. Any type of valuable stock certificates that you have not sent off to the house, or that have some tangible value, you may want to include that as well. You want to get a hold of your Social Security statement. You can print a PDF of that, and that'll tell you how much you get at different ages and things like that. You'll be able to look over to see if continuing to work will push down some of those years where we got very low income. Um, a pension benefit statement, if you have any pensions, you want to make sure you have that and make sure they know your current address, so that when that benefit um, comes up, that you know that they know where to reach you. Any life insurance could be helpful, and you definitely want to get your credit report before you start investing seriously. You want to get your debt taken care of. It's okay if you got a car note, and that car note you've got 18 months to go. That'll drop off. But the revolving credit card debt from any emergency repairs on your home, um, anything like emergency car repair, furniture that just had to be replaced, the HVAC, anything that might be on that card, your financial planner, if he's good, him or her, they're going to want you to knock that out, put all resources and just get that out of the way. And then from there, they should be able to help you a little bit more with setting up a strategic um, financial plan to meet all your needs. And I'm going to come back and show you some of my goals here shortly. Okay, so I had, when I was 60 years old, so that had to be 2022, I'd set up some this document and some goals, and I sent it over. Introduced my name as John Qualls, worked as IT, and I'm 60 years of age. And below are my goals. The first thing that concerned me about my retirement preparations, I want to have a rainy day fund to cover 2 full years of no full time employment. And I had $38,000 saved at that time. And that was key for me because working in the financial industry, dealing with that COVID and all that kind of stuff, it was just too much for me. I was worried. And that comes out of Dave Ramsey's book of uh, 3 to 6 months of worth of income, 2 years for me. And I did meet that goal. $20,000 for World Travel Fund to be used during retirement. I had $11,000 saved in a Roth IRA with E-Trade, and that was ROGSX. It was a technology fund. I bought it really low. It's trading for $62 a share now, but I got it at 27, and I continued adding to it. It had grown so much. It's over that 20,000 right now. Um, I'm not putting any more money into it. I did take a distribution this year. It was qualified. It was vested for the 5 years, and I used it while I was out of the country, as it did not show up as taxable income, so it had nothing to do with my ACA. 56,000 invested for the condo payoff fund. Now, 5 years ago, well, yeah, 5 years ago, I had opened up a Roth IRA, and I had started submitting $1,000 a month, and I had got up to $4,800 saved. We now have the money to pay off the condo if I choose to. However, I have a 1.75% mortgage. Paying off the condo only saves $335 a month. And if you've been following me, you know that I have a number of mutual funds and I was able to harvest the dividends and capital gains to fund myself, including the extra $100. So, this $56,000 here, it is still growing and earning interest. It's about $160 a month over in a high yield savings at 3.49%. I'm just going to keep that. It just doesn't make any sense. Um, then I had originally thought about with the condo paid off, it would be at about $1,000 a month, and I was going to use the capital gains to cover that while I bridge. Pension income starting at 65. I was going to divert that to pay the property taxes had I paid off the condo. And these were goals from a few years ago. I had Social Security at 70, and nope, I'm just wasn't gonna not gonna do that. Originally, I was gonna work until 67 and 10 months. I was gonna quit the firm and have a couple months to myself, and then I was gonna go into the bridge years of 67, 68, and 69, 3 years, and it would have cost me about 25 grand a year, is what I found out now. But this is now 67. So what we did was we just truncated that, and it is now this. And I'm bridging right now. I'm in my first year of bridging at 64. I do 65 and I do 66. The income from the part-time work doing guest services or event staffing. And we know that I worked the part-time. I worked the FIFA World Cup. That has been a real boost to me when it comes to earning extra income and building a surplus. I should always be able to add 3,000. Now that I'm retired, I can go to more weekday events because of the 8 matches that they had. 6 of them were during the weekdays, and 5 of them you needed to be there at 6:45 in the morning on a weekday. I would have never been able to go there had I still been working a full-time job. And the will and trust, I completed that summer of 2021. Um, I have a will and it's registered with an attorney not too far from here in Georgia, as well I have a trustee and a backup trustee with some instructions. That probably needs to be updated because the Morgan Stanley 401k is no longer there, and that needs to be depleted and any new accounts added in. So these were the goals that I set up for myself. Now, some of these items in here, this was all to protect me in case I lost my job, um, to cover me. But I'm bridging now. Once I turn 67, I'm going to be in a real good situation. So the other thing I want to tell you is this. If we scroll down here and we look at all this stuff that we just highlighted, everything that's in bold, if you can get all that together, you can go to Bolden, open up, register yourself with Bolden for the 2-week trial, and you can start filling out the questionnaire for all of this stuff right here. And it'll give you a Monte Carlo percentage of how successful you are with your retirement planning as a starter. If you're like, you know what, I just don't feel like going, but I have all of this stuff, and talking with somebody, you could key this into Bolden right now. This is all the kind of stuff that it likes to ask for. It's going to want to know how much you got to go on that mortgage. It's going to want to know the budget. It's looking for the dollar amount, your saving account balance, your 401k, your brokerage account. It's going to want to know what your Social Security is and what year you won't plan on taking it. You throw a pension in there and any consumer debt, and it'll come back and it'll give you a chart. That's on a 2 week. So I'm hoping this helps you guys here who are on low to moderate income. Um, it would be kind of silly if you're the type of person who can't pay your bills to go through all of this. Try and get yourself caught up, put all this together, and then see if you can get on track because certain investments have certain benefits for a person who may want to retire early. My name is John. I'm the host of the Retiring Club, and this is Retirement Today. I hope you like and subscribe, and thanks for viewing. Take care.